Started the recording. Can you see the screen? Whiteboard.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you go go to any company, like one of the example I will give. Suppose you are going XYZ company, right? There is an information security team. When we talk about information security, cyber security, so these particular team are divided into a team of network security, application security, which is called AppSec. Then there is BAVA, baseline assessment and vulnerability assessment. Then there is a other team, it's called audit team, and then there is a monitoring team. See, when when you are going to handle, either you are working in this first one, second one, third one, or fourth one, or fifth one. If you are a chief information security officer in your field, so you are going to manage this complete field. But if you are a manager, or a cyber security engineer or cloud security engineer, you will be either working in network security, application security, PAVA audit, or monitoring team. And here, if here, suppose you are working here, there will be a manager. You are reporting to manager, or either you will be a manager, and this manager is reporting to chief information security officer of your company. This is first manager. Second, depending upon your company size. So this is the basics. This is a way in any company information security been divided, so that mm, uh, different fields, it's combining together, making secure any company in network wise, in application wise, in audit wise, and in monitoring wise. So we are
So
going to, yeah,
IAM falls under network security.
IAM falls under everything. So if you are talking about network also, you require IAM. If you talk about this one called AppSec also, it is also IAM. I think
Okay.
you are stuck in IAM only. So just come out from that. We are going to teach everything. Just come out from this IAM. Cybersecurity is not just IAM. IAM is part of cybersecurity.
Yeah, just initial
Mm,
authentication. All this. Okay.
yeah, because authentication is going
So
to,
firewall and all, it comes under the network security, right?
yeah, right. So all the question will be answered. Don't worry. So when talk about a network security, here the devices are router, switch, firewall. Apart from that, there are the devices which we call NIPS. Have you heard about this NIPS, NIDS? And then web application firewall. These are the devices. But there is a tool as well. When we talk about AppSec, so there are the many tools like Burp Suite. Have you heard about this Burp Suite? Yes, Burp Suite,
No. No.
OSAP, OSAP Top 10. Yes, sir. Top 10. There are many tools we are going to see. When we talk about BABA, how we are going to manage those BABA, Nessus, Qualys, Qualys. And when we talk about audit, ISO 27001, PCI DSS. This what is,
GRC always comes under this, right?
yeah. Which one?
GRC.
Yeah, GRC. GRC is part of this
Part.
particular thing. GRC, then HIPAA.
GRC is part of audit.
GRC is part of audit as well.
Okay. Gotcha.
What is the
HIPAA
full
is
form of
related to
GRC?
it. What is
Governance, compliance, and the risk management. So they are the company who divides the different part as well, or they are going to combine into one. When I was one of the example I will give you, when I'm in a Geo, so I'm handling a GRC part, but in that I was handling a network part, network audit part, GRC. How we are going to make policy, procedures, all everything is comes under. There is no one particular definition of GRC. It can be comes under every part. When I talk about GRC, it comes under everything will comes under, some part of network you are going to put, some part of application you are going to put, some part of audit measure is kind of
system?
audit and review, some part of monitoring you are going to put in that particular thing, GRC. Because when I say governance, risk, and the compliance, so mostly when you talk about, mostly we call as a auditors name, but if you go in different company, in place of auditing team, they are called as a compliance team, they are called as a governance team. So it depends upon company to company how they are going to refer nomenclatures, but mostly it's comes under audit only. So like this way, it depends upon, yeah, if you are working on larger company, it's some of the part is going to integrate with this one. But if you're going into this smaller company like a startup, every uh, most of the part is comes under this one. So it depends upon which company, how large your company scale is, your company is that. So it's depending upon that particular thing. And then when we talk about
What
monitoring,
is BA? And a VA is vulnerability assessment. What is BA?
baseline assessment, we are going to teach everything. Don't worry. When this particular terms will comes, so I will tell you. It is called a baseline assessment, where minimum security should be there. Okay, this is the minimum security compulsory should be present in all the field, like a network field, application field, Linux, Windows, when you are doing those kind of things. And then when talk about the monitoring, like in it's part of SOC and the SIM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a way, when you go in the larger organization, it is mostly divided into this particular field. But when you go in the startup, right, in a company who is just getting startup, so mostly this all one thing, and this either be a one, or this one two, or this one is three. So depending upon the company size, companies, how much company have a money, what kind of company is doing. If suppose company is a financial company like SDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, so they are having more the kind of one, two, three, four, five. So this way they have divided, or if you talk about Geo, this way they will divide. If it is non, no, for them, if it is security is not a big deal. Like petroleum company, so what kind of, if anything will happen, if you hack those particular website, so nothing is going to be, you know not so, goodwill going to damage as you going to hack for the banking system. So what they will do, they will also only combine one, two, or three kind of thing, teams. And if we go for the startup as well, so many times you will see this one and this two will be combined making a one, and only this one, sorry, this one and this two will be there, will be there. So it's depending upon company to company, what is the size of company and how much they are going to spend on that particular team thing. So when I talk about Geo, so there will be for handling a cyber security team, there will be a 250 plus of people. Just imagine 250 people is handling these five domain. And same way, I have seen the startup as well. There are only 2 to 3 people handling this particular thing. So it's depending upon, again I'm saying, depending upon how big your organization, how important the security is for them. So depending upon, they will divide the teams in smaller teams, and then they are managing those particular things. So any question on this? How cybersecurity team look like? Who is going to manage us? What kind of things? So this is the way which we are seeing on the screen. Now we are going to start with the network security first. This one, because this is a basic of all this particular team. So we are going to start. We are going to see how network security is being done, or how we are going to do a particular audit, or how this devices is going to work. And when you talk about WAF, it is mostly comes under for managing a application related firewall. It is a device, but it comes under either you can use as a network security, or either you can use as a application security. So, but 90% it's terms handling a application related attacks, handling application related things. So when you talk about JavaScript, when you talk about PHP script, someone is modifying those particular area, and then they are sending a traffic, so it is getting handled by WAF. So as we progress, as class progress, we are going to see each and every devices, each and every tools, each and every field department. So till now, any question on this? Nitiraj, Sheetal, I'm audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question.
Okay. So we are going to start with this particular thing which called a network security. Right. So we will start with the three-way handshake. Three-way handshake. So as terms called handshake, right? So what Nitiraj, what exactly this means? Handshake means for you. I'm audible?
Communication.
Hmm?
That the communication, right?
Yeah, it's a communication, right? See, suppose if I am a Indresh, right? Here, one person, and you are the second person, Itiraj, right? It is I, it is E. So when I'm, giving my hand, and you are also giving your hand, and you are shaking hand, means you are agreeing on something, and yeah, and then we can start, communication or any kind of talks which we want. But same way in the network, this handshake must be there, and then only communication will start. If there is no handshake, communication will not going to start. So when I say what is meaning of communication, it's nothing but an exchange of data from one to two, two to one. So when this three-way handshake getting established, So what three-way handshake means? If I and Itiraj is getting agreed, or then only it is communication getting established. Then only I am going to talk to Itiraj. Itiraj is going to acknowledge to me, and then communication is getting built. So what three-way handshake does? This is the one. This is the second. So suppose in example, this is the first system and this is the second system, right? So one when first system is sending SYN. See what SYN means? It is a synchronization packet. So what is a packet? We are going to see within 5 to 10 minutes. It is one is sending SYN packet to second, and then see when I say this word SYN, it is a synchronized word. See suppose just in easy in layman term I am explaining so that you can understand. Suppose one is sending a hello or sending how are you. So in return, what you are going to say? In return, if someone is sending something, say hi, hello, how are you? So what you are going to say? So similarly, this whatever the I'm saying, hey, hi, how are you? So in network terms, it is sending a SYN packet to one. Okay, let's synchronize with each other. One is saying to second, and in return, what will be the response of second? Just try and say what will be the response of the second person. Dhiraj, hello, I'm audible, right?
Yeah. So if you send a packet and if the second person acknowledges and then they accept it, that means the handshake is successful, right?
Successful, yeah, right. So when I'm sending how are you, my second person is saying, yeah, I'm fine, how are you, right? The same way. It's called the
Depends on if it's synchronous or asynchronous. If it's a synchronous, that's a real-time communication, right?
no
There
no
are
no.
some cases.
See.
It's an
Whatever is in the mind, right? I am synchronous, asynchronous, all those things. Just wash out those things. Currently, it's what I'm saying. Asynchronous, all those things is PKI, term public key infrastructure, symmetrical, asymmetrical, synchronous, asynchronous, all those things. Just be completely blank and just what I'm saying that synchronous is different, and that what you're talking about it's different one. It is called synchronization one, and the second when second suppose I'm saying how are you. So either you can say I don't want to talk to you, either you refuse to talk. If you refuse to talk, then that's communication will not going to happen. And when you are saying when I'm saying to you how are you will reply hey, I'm fine, how are you. So that means you are acknowledging me. So here second is sending a packet of sin plus act. It is called sin act packet. Sin plus act, I'm acknowledging your synchronous message. This is called acknowledgement. So it is called a second step. First is first step is sending a synchronous packet, synchronization message. Second message, when it's come to a second person, right? This person is sending a send plus acknowledgement message, which is called a second step. And now this this person is sending a acknowledgement that I have received acknowledgement of this particular thing. So when I'm saying how are you, you'll be sending hey I'm fine, how are you. Then you're even I'm also fine. So this is the way in network. It's called a three-way handshake. In no world of humans, right? When we say this way, when we communicate, and then we start communicating longer time. So similar way, to establish a communication, the first most important thing is three-way handshake. So what happened is first it is computer one or host one sending SYN packet, SYN message, and second server or system is sending SYN plus acknowledgement message, and then again first one is sending a acknowledgement packet or acknowledgement message. So in this way, see, this is the first, it is sending a second, and this one is sending a third. So that is the reason it is called three-way handshake. Three-way handshake. Without that, the communication is not going to start. Now everything is fine, everything is connected. Now what we call data transfer is going to take place from one to a second. Now data transfer is going to take place. Data transfer is going to take place. So this is when you go for interview, this is the first question interview will you ask you, do you know three-way handshake? So when you say yes, then they are going to say explain the three-way handshake, how it is going to work. So when we have seen, just spend a 1 minute and tell me what you understand with this three-way handshake. Itiraj, Yash. Yash, I'm audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I can
just
explain if you want the three-way handshake works like. So it's
you,
like
yeah,
communication between systems.
yeah. No, just Itiraj, you explain what is
Okay.
Yeah.
when we say.
So when you send the first, like when we send the synchronous communication, that the communication is acknowledged,
Hmm.
and it will be the responder back.
Responder back with the acknowledgement message. See,
With
when you're
acknowledgement.
sending synchronous message, you're getting SYN plus ACK. Always remember first SYN, synchronous message, SYN plus ACK, SYN plus ACK, and then ACK, acknowledgement. So this is
Responder back
one,
with the
yeah,
message.
this one, this two, and then this is a three. Yeah. So this is called a three-way handshake. So when there is a tool which is called Wireshark, in that we are going to see how it's been achieved. This particular thing.
So this kind of checking the gateway, pinging the gateway, and the IP address.
No, it is, yeah, you can say the first thing we are going to, don't worry, first thing, now we are going to start with OSI model, right? You heard about OSI model?
No.
So see, when in 1970s or earlier that, so when HP is making their own server, Dell is making their own server, laptops, laptop means computers. That time laptop was not there. Then IBM is making their own server or own system. So what's happened? Everyone, every manufacturer, they are making their own system. So what the issue comes? Say suppose I'm using iPhone. I'm using uh, Samsung phone or Android phone. There is a different charger, right? Charger you might have seen many times. Its charger pin is different. Android's charger pin is different. Can iPhone's pin will be fit in Android phone? Can it is previously using some different kind of ports. Android is using C-type connector or small pin. The third one is Nokia. You might have seen the issue of using a larger pin or smaller pin. So once Nokia pin cannot comes to sorry, Samsung mobiles charger won't work on the iPhone charger, right? So this is the issue. The same issue was there in 1970s. So HP server is not working on, not able to communicate to Dell. Dell server is not able to communicate to IBM. So that was the issue. So to solve this issue, so what came in the picture right now? Just answer it.
Standardize the
Hmm?
they have to standardize the charges like
Yeah, they have to standardize the charger. So similar way, HP, Dell, IBM, they have to standardize. There is a framework work has been developed, which is called OSI model, so that every hardware provider company who's making a server, making a computer, they should come up with this. They should follow a standard framework, which is called OSI model. And everyone started making OSI model, started making computers, servers, or system based on the OSI model. Because of that, what's happened, HP can communicate, able to connect to Dell's uh, computer. Dell is able to connect to IBM. There will be no issue coming. So what OSI model it says, it divides system into 7 layers. 7 layers. 7 layers. So what is the first layer? So I'm going to start with this. First layer is a physical layer. Physical layer. So when I say physical layer, what this exactly means? Physical layers. It's simple word. Physical layers.
physical system, servers or system.
When I say physical layer, all are the cables. Whatever the cables you are seeing, it comes under this one, physical layers, right? So as you talk about, when I'm communicating, when I'm connecting one system to other system, right, with the cable, or I'm putting a switch, some kind of device, connecting this cable to switch, then this also connecting to this. This way I'm connecting this all cables. This comes under a physical layer. Physical layer. Now, when physical layer is established, three-way, after checking when physical connectivity is proper, now the second part is comes under checking a three-way handshake. First, to establish a three-way handshake, you should have a good physical connectivity, either physical connectivity or either Wi-Fi, means those particular thing. So now, if physical connectivity is not there, will three-way handshake work? Just give the answer. Will it is work? What do you think, Tiraj? I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it should work. Yeah,
how can it work if I have this? See, this is a one server and this is a second server. If I disconnect the cable, how three-way handshake will work? How three-way handshake will send the message, right? There is some medium. It is sending a message, right?
yeah, it's connected. It will work. Yeah.
Yeah, when it is connected, then only it will work. So when you said a
La-
ping, trace route, so when first physical connectivity is established, then you are going to check via ping, what you said, ping, trace route. It is one of the way of checking whether three-way handshake is working or working right or wrong. So that was your answer to your question. Now, now the second layer, it is called data link layer. data link layer. See, when I say connectivity is working fine, now you are going to check a three-way handshake. Now data communication is going to start. The second layer come, let's talk about the physical. Second is data link layer. Data link layer, right? Data link layer. So when physical connectivity cables, everything is there. When we are going to check three-way handshake, it is working fine. Now data communication will start. System is sending data to other system is receiving a data, is also other system is sending a data. So when it is going to start, it is going to start in data link layer. In data link layer, again, which device works? In data link layer, switch is going to work. So when I talk about switch, what comes in your mind when talk about a switch? It's fine if it's right, wrong answer. You just give the answer.
Yeah, it's like making one connection. You're splitting the connection into multiple connections.
Yeah, you're right. When I'm
So
talking about, yeah, Shitan.
I said a connecting device like a switch will be something which will connect.
Yeah, absolutely. Connecting device. Yeah, it is a connecting device. Router is also connecting device. So we are going to see a difference between switch and router. Yeah. So when I talk about a switch, right? Switch is a device. Its symbol is represented like this way. So like this. Sorry, so its symbol is represented like this way. This is a representation of switch. When you see this symbol, just remember it is a switch. They are talking about a switch. So when, as you say, it will going to connect a device. So when switch, how in real switch hardware to look like, it is having so many ports like this. They are the switch. We are having port from 8, varying from 8 to 100 ports, depending upon the switch model. If we see like this way, they are having a different ports. And here the power cable. We are going to see when we are going to see a packet tracer. Here, when your laptop is there, it is connecting. Wire is going to connect to this port 1, and other system like say system 1, system 1, system 2. It is going to connect to this one, and then system 3. So like this way, there are many ports, and every port the switch is getting connected. So when this system wanted to communicate to this one, it is communicating coming here, and then from this port it is coming here. But when you see a switch, it cannot communicate outside its boundary. Means if it is a same network, same boundary, it can communicate. But if the switch wanted to communicate, suppose it is in building 1 and it is a building 2, or suppose it is building 1, campus 1, sorry, campus 1, it is in campus 2, and same building, campus 2, different building, different city. It cannot communicate, send a message, send a packet or frame outside its network. So that is the reason when I say it cannot communicate outside this boundary, outside its network. So what this exactly means? What you understand with these terms. When I
It's
say,
a LAN. It's a
hmm?
LAN. It's local network.
Yeah, it is a LAN, local network. So that is the reason you will see the representation of this way, right? It's like a particular what you call railway track. They are going parallel to each other but cannot cross each other. So in layer 2, the switch works. And now we're talking about this layer 3. Talking about layer 3. In layer 3 is called a network layer. Now if you wanted to send a packet out of the boundary, campus 1 to campus 2, city 1 to city 2, country 1 to another country, then there is a device which is called a router. How router is going to we are going to represent? It is represented like this way. Whenever you see this symbol, it is called a router. See, it is connecting a different boundary, connecting a different network. So that is the reason the symbol is like this way, cross. So here router works. So what is the difference between switch? So now we see there is a switch and there is a router. How switch look like? This is the way switch is going to look like, representation of symbol, and how router is we are going to represent this way. Now what is the difference between switch and router? It can connect the same network. Same network, and router it can connect a different network.
Multiple.
Different network, and it's work on layer 2. It's work on layer 3. So this is a difference between router and the switch. But now in modern days, there is a L3 switch as well. When I say L3 switch, L3 switch, what this exactly means? L3 switch. What it exactly means? Itiraj, Sheetal, it's fine if you go wrong, right? But
Layer 3 switch, they call it as L3 switch, or
yeah, it is called layer 3 switch.
Layer 3. Yeah.
Yeah, layer 3 switch, it can have function of router as well. So nowadays people don't use a different device as part of router as part of switch. Now larger company was what they do, they buy L3 switch which is doing functionality of what you called switching as well as
switch.
router. So how it's look like?
Even the Wi-Fi routers nowadays has both switch functionality. Like
Yeah, right. No, that's I will show you. See, see this is the way you can see the router look. Sorry, switch look like.
yeah.
Yeah. So how we are going to when we are going to make a network diagram? How we are going to make a network diagram? See, this is the way. See, when I'm saying this one particular thing, this is a way of representing. So Just a minute. Task manager. Yeah. See, when I'm saying this way, what this means, this is a typical, you know, configuration of what you say, any smaller system. Like, see, here, as I told you, the computers are there. It is connecting a switch, and switch is connecting to L3 and the firewall. So when this is a way you are going to represent. So when you are going to see this symbol, it's called a L2 switch. And when I talk about L3 switch, see, this is a way it is getting represented. Can you see a router here? Here you are seeing a switch. Just tell me where, if yeah,
So the
suppose,
round symbol is there, right?
yeah, yeah,
In multiple connections.
yeah, right. So can see here I'm seeing a switch, but here I'm not seeing a router, right? So will this system one can communicate? I'm just placing a system two can communicate to system two. This one can communicate to this one. Just answer it.
Yeah, it has to, it can communicate, but it has to go through the router and
But here we are not seeing a router, right? The router symbol is like this way. But here I'm seeing a switch only. So when you say this particular thing, right? L3 switch. This is the L3 switch. It is in functionality of both switch plus router. So when one is wanted to communicate to a second, it is connecting to this one and this connecting to this, and then packet is going to send to this one. See, when an packet is coming here, it means it is coming on a layer 2. See, starting. Yeah. See, when you are seeing this, all the connections here connecting, all this connecting, right? It is called a layer 1. And when your packet is comes to here, this is called layer 2. And because it is a switch. See, if this system is not in the picture and this one can communicate to this one, but this one cannot communicate to this one. Don't see this different VLANs. This one, suppose it is on same system, this can communicate to this one, but this one cannot able to communicate to this one because it is having a different network. So when this one wanted to communicate to this system, it is he has to connect a router, and here what is has to connect to a router. It is called L3 device, but that what you call L3 switch. Why we are calling L3 switch? L3. Always remember we are calling a L3 switch. L3 switch means it is doing a functionality of router routing plus switching. So if one different network wanted to connect to other different network, it must use a router. So now he can communicate to this one. Now it is called a layer 1, layer 2, and the layer 3. This way, layer 1, 2, and 3, it's covered. Now, when we, by seeing this diagram, just tell me, can this system suppose this is a one system, this one, and this is a two system. Can this communicate to this one? Now it is on different network. See, it is VLAN 1 and this is VLAN 2. Can two different VLAN, when I'm saying this word VLAN, what it means? VLAN, what it means? Just tell me. What
Virtual
you are,
LAN,
yeah, virtual LAN. Virtual LAN means,
internal of this internal network only, like internal LAN, not going outside the building or
yeah, right. So when I say VLAN, yeah, when I
Single
say,
Ethernet. Yeah, Ethernet.
no, it means, suppose I have a one switch. If I wanted to divide into a two switch, virtual means hardware is one, but when I make VLAN 10, VLAN 20, one switch will become a two switch virtually. So
Logically.
when logically, yeah,
Yeah, it allows one switch to have multiple.
yeah, multiple switch. But VLAN, one different VLAN cannot communicate to other VLAN. Means in this example, which we are seeing, VLAN, sorry, VLAN 10 cannot communicate to VLAN 20 because it is two different network. Again, if I wanted to communicate two different network, what I'm going to use? If I wanted
Use
to,
WAN.
huh? Sorry,
We had used WAN, right?
no. To even if you wanted to connect to different WAN,
You need to
how
router
WAN is
switch. You need a
router?
router.
You
Switch.
need, yeah, you need a router. When you are connecting a two different, whether you talk about WAN or whether you talk about different VLAN, if they wanted to communicate, you have to use a router. So when this, see why it is called a VLAN, because it is within a one switch. I'm creating a two different network within a one same switch. So it is called as a virtual router. So when you are wanted to communicate over VLAN, large, sorry, wide area network, which is not in, which is different campus, different city or different country, we want to connect a different those things. When it comes as a different word, always remember we are going to use a router. So here two different VLAN wanted to communicate each other. I am going to use a router. And nowadays only smaller company they are going to use a router. When we are going in a larger company, larger organization, they are using a this kind of system. L3 switch. L3 switch will do both functionality, routing as well as switching. So when it is in different network, so packet is coming to this, and then it is coming here, and now it is connecting to this one. See, it has to take so many, so sorry, larger path. Why it has to take a larger path? Because this L2 switch don't have a capability to connect a different network. Always remember, it is not having capability to connect a different network. So who has a capability to connect a different network? Router or L3 switch. So that is the reason. That is the reason it is going to a L3 switch. It says it is saying to L3 switch, hey, I am coming to connect to this network. Do you have an address of this network? So router will say, yeah, I have a no address of this particular thing. Go this way. So it is coming this way. Now it is going to communicate to each other. Now suppose if it is in a same VLAN, suppose these two both systems in the same VLAN 10, then now how the communication is going? It is not in a different VLAN. It is also VLAN 10, and this is also VLAN 10. Now tell me what you think how communication is going to established. Yash, Sheetal, Itiraj. I'm audible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, tell me if it is the same VLAN, right? VLAN 10 only. Now
Yeah.
tell me how this going to communicate.
Yeah, it's going to communicate within itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just tell me a path, how it is reaching from system. Suppose this is system one and this is system two. How it is reaching from system one to system two.
It will use the above L2 switch to
Yeah,
communicate via the
yeah,
VLAN.
yeah. It is coming here and then
Yeah, and
coming
it goes up.
here. Same VLAN, right? It is the same network.
Yeah.
When I talk about, yeah, when as soon as this will become a different network, it is the packet will come to here and then packet will send to here. Where- If it is, if this switch is not getting any kind of address, so what it says, go to a gateway means it is sending a direct outside path. And now this router or LT switch having an address, it is sending to this. Again, it will send to this one. Come here and go here. Similar way. So this is the way two different network is getting connected. So any question on this? Etiraj, Yash, Sheetal.
No.
All good.
Yeah. Now, how? Yeah. Now I'll show you how this. And talk about this is actual image of router. Sorry, switch. Now, if we talk about router, see, this is the way router hardware look like. Yeah. So this is the image when you are going to connect to using a router. Okay. This is the way it is getting connected. See here you will see the representation of router. Here you will see the representation of switch. So when we are going to make a network diagram, so this is the way we have to make a design. Now see, this is the way which I used to make a diagram in my office. So can you see? Can you able to see what this means? What this when you see device like this? So what is
Router
hmm?
L3 switch.
L3 switch, right? It is called L3 switch. Now this is representation of larger organization. They don't use router. They use L3 switch. So all these things which you are seeing, what this means.
Router.
Hmm?
This is router.
Yeah, that is a router, smaller router. This is a bigger L3 switch. One thing. So this is a way we are going to make a diagram of networks. So when we are seeing, so by seeing this, see when you go in the company, you are first thing you are asking, explain the network diagram or send me a network diagram. So if someone is sending a network diagram like this way, so what you are going to exactly understand. First we are seeing, let's see a smaller diagram one like this. So, see here. Now just tell me this thing. By seeing this thing, Rick, you are asking a network diagram. Tell me the first thing. What by seeing this diagram, what you means exactly understand? Just try right wrong. It's fine because we are here to give the wrong answer only. Then we are going to correct, and then in the interview we are going to say a right answer. So yes, Sheetal,
Yeah, can
right?
you repeat?
Yeah. So by see when you go in the company, you ask
Yeah.
for a network diagram. So this is a way. Either they will give you the network diagram. So this is a smaller version of network diagram which I created in my company. So what you mean exactly means by seeing this diagram?
This is like a fire. It's a firewall diagram, right?
DMC I can see.
Don't we are going to study about don't see about this thing. Just concentrate on this one,
It's a server diagram.
this one only. This we are going to see what this means.
This is the servers, right? Different servers trying to connect to the
See
terminals.
here you see a different server. Server comes here.
So here you see different networks like firewall and different network infrastructure, which has firewall switches and connections.
Yeah, see
And
this is a switch. See
Switch with.
L3 switch. There is a different way of representing L3 switch. So these are the L3 switch. This is see when it's coming as a network internet, it is connecting to L3 switch, right? Connection is connected to L3 switch, and then it is coming to a firewall. What is a firewall? We're going to see. See, this is a representation of wall. So what it's exactly means? It is a firewall. Now the firewall is connected to again L3 switch, and this L3 switch is again connecting to other L3 switch, and it is connecting to at the end it is connecting to a server. So why when you are seeing why there are so many switches, one, two, three, four, I can only take one switch and connect to this one, right? Or I can take two switch or connect to three. Means one switch and connect to this one. Then why there is four switches I required connecting a same network?
To increase the efficiency, like if one goes down, the other is still up.
Yeah, it is called HA mode. Means achieving a high availability. Suppose in case if your switch goes down, this one goes down. If you are having only one switch, if this goes down, then how your traffic or how you are going to communicate? If this goes down, the second path it will take. If this also goes down, then there is a third path. So like this way in the organization, they don't connect only one switch. They are having an either one, two, depending upon the criticality of application or server. They are having more than one switch connecting to each other. And now we are now the see. So when you see this one, so what you're going to understand? See, suppose you are in the new in the job, new in the cybersecurity field, and you are going the first time in the company, and someone is presenting on the dashboard or giving you this diagram. So what you're going to understand this with this diagram, with such diagram, all this one. Any idea? Any wanted to say? This is nothing but a networking device which is connecting. See, this is the one area where it is connecting with this bunch of devices to other data center bunch of devices. Like this way it is getting connected. So when you are seeing this one, always remember it is L3 switch. These many L3 switches are there, and this is called a router. So these many routers are there. So when you are seeing this one, just don't get surprised. It is a device, either L3 switch, router, or we are going to see a firewall as well. So now we are going to see the firewall thing. So now the layer 4, which is called transport layer. Layer 4. On this layer, which device works? The firewall works on this device. And how we are going to represent the firewall? There is a different way of representing a firewall. Someone will represent like a wall, which I showed you this way, wall like. Someone is represent like wall, then there is a kind of called fire type of things. Then it's a wall, this is fire, this is wall. So this way the firewall works. Firewall work on which layer? It's work on layer 4. So when I say transport layer, right? So how we are going to see? Let me show this one. Yeah. So when you say firewall, see this is the way we are going to represent a firewall. It's depending upon what, which color, which thing you are going to use. It's upon to you. You have to use this way, the bricks and then the fire, and combining this way will become a firewall. Okay, can you see? This is the way representation of firewall. And now when I say firewall, it's work on layer 4. So what is the difference between firewall, router and the switch? So when I say firewall, what this exactly word you will understand with the firewall? Just right.
You want me to tell the difference between firewall, router, and
No,
switch?
no, not
Eh,
about the difference. I'm just saying when you hear about the word firewall, so what
Yeah.
exactly comes in your mind?
Blocking unauthorized request.
Yeah, right. Blocking unauthorized access. Right. That router and the switch is not able to capable of able to do things. See, switch is connecting a same network, same network. It is connecting a different network. But suppose if I need to block something, block a source IP address or destination IP address, so where I'm going to block those particular thing. Suppose you are having a home, right? So someone is coming at your home, uh, but how we are going to stop those particular person to coming at your home or into your society? You are going to put a guard. So whenever anyone comes to at your society's gate, the guard will ask you, where you wanted to go. If the person is saying your house name, the message will come to your mobile, allow or deny, right? So similar way, when the packet comes to a firewall, so in that particular thing, it will see a checklist, either allow or deny. allow or deny a traffic. So if it is allowed, the traffic is going to connect to a source is going to connect to a destination. When it is denied, so it is getting blocked. It cannot communicate to a destination. Even there is a three-way handshake has been there. Everything is connectivity is also there. But when the firewall deny the entry, the traffic cannot go inside and it cannot communicate to other system or particular network. So when I say transport, the word you have to understand like trans plus port, this term. Trans means transfer. When I say port, what this exactly comes in your mind? When I say port, this word port, P-O-R-T, what it exactly means when I say port in what this exactly means. Sheetal, Itiraj, Yash.
Each each transportation layer like having a port, like a
Yeah,
physical number.
see, one simple,
Like a endpoint where communications can occur, like endpoint for specific
yeah,
service.
right. It is endpoint of specific service. See, when I when I open any kind of website, right? So by default, this particular website is service as it's a service for particular thing. So it works on last thing on the port. So what this which port it will work? See every particular IP address or connectivity is given a port number. Port is nothing but which service it is going to it start. It is nothing but a service. Again, see, when I'm connecting one source to other source, right? If I'm communicating to you, there will be some work, right? Or I'm going to do with you, or you are going to do with me. So, what kind of work, what kind of service going to I'm going to define? So that but service is going to identify by a port number. It is given as a port number. So suppose I'm opening a website. So website is given a port number of like website work sorry made of HTML, Java. But when you wanted to see the particular page, right? So on which service is going to and which port it's going. By default, you have any idea? Yash, Itiraj, on which port when I open a website, right? For
443.
which, yeah, 443 by default, 443 or 80. Now, when I talk about 443, as I
HTTP
use,
is leaking.
yeah, when I use port, right, website, port 443, right? When I say port 443, it is called HTTPS service. When I say port 80, it is a port of HTTP. See, I know you know all those things, but we are getting little bored. But I have to start with this only. So if you know, it's good. If you don't, sorry, if you don't know, it's good. You are going to learn. If you know, get a revised thing. See, HTTPS. So when I say port 443, it is HTTPS. When I say port 80, this is HTTP. So this is a service, and all the service given a port number. So that is the reason it is when I am denying a port 443 on the firewall. So website will not work. Website will not refuse to load a particular page. So when I say service of, suppose when I say service of FTP, FTP, file transfer protocol. So it's again it is given as a port number. So which port FTP works? So port 20 till 21. So these are the ports assigned to a particular service. So that is the reason ports works on the layer 4. So firewall, it's a function of firewall to deny allow a particular IP address or particular service, and firewall works on layer 4. Now when we come talk about the layer 5, 6 and the 7, so combining this layer, it is called a application layer. But again application layer is divided into a three part. See here, when you now you are opening any kind of application, right? Like I'm opening a website. So first is physical connectivity is fine. Three-way handshake has been established. Communication is step going via switch, via firewall. Port is also open. Particular port 443. Now I'm going to see my application, particular thing. So when I talk about layer 5, it is called a session layer. Layer 6 is presentation layer. Layer 7, it's called the application layer. So why this is called application layer together we are going to see. So when I say session layer, so what exactly comes in your mind?
A session ID is generated.
Yeah, session ID is generated when I'm transferring a data from from A to B, the kind of data being transferred, the amount of time it's been there. So it is called a session layer. So when I say 6, now I'm going to on the presentation layer. So what this presentation layer exactly means?
Mostly about the graphics like the JPEG, PN, the ASCII code.
Right. So when I say, see, suppose if I'm sending a data in encrypted form, so what, see, this is a person one, it is sending a data in encrypted form to a person second. So now the encryption of data comes to second. Will he able to read that particular thing? So what this person two is going to see? Every encryption have a decryption, right? So all those functionality, encryption, decryption, whatever you see, right? Or said JPI, all those things, it is going to work under this way. So now when in an interview, they don't ask you layer 1, 2, 3, 4. They ask you one question, which protocol works on presentation layer? Which protocol? We are also going to see a protocol as well. Yeah. So, and what is the function of presentation layer? So here you have to say there is no protocol works. It's only doing encryption and decryption work. Encryption and the decryption work. Whenever I'm sending, suppose someone is speaking in a French, uh, will are you able to understand? If I speak in French, are you able to understand? No, right? So similar way, also it is the function of converting one language to another language so that person can able to understand.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the second work which presentation layer is doing, but major function is encryption to a decryption kind of work presentation layer is doing. Now when I say application layer, so what it exactly means?
That's where the application resides, the actual application.
Yeah. So there are the now actual function, right? As you told, actual function comes in the place like HTTPS, HTTP, uh, FTP, SSH, all those work and function is going to see you are going to see in the this function application. So now this is the way it is. See now again we are going to summarize those things. Physical layer, what it is going to work, all the cables, whatever the cables we are seeing. See now data link layer, it is switch is working on that this particular layer. When I said say network layer, data from source to destination means it is connecting a different network. And when you say transport layer, same way, whatever you are seeing on port 80, port 443, on particular thing, it is getting connected here. So when I say IP plus port, what it means, there is also one terms. When I say IP plus port, it's called as a socket. It is connecting to a particular socket. When you combine IP plus port, it's called a socket. So this is, you don't got to remember, just remember IP plus port, it's called a socket. When I'm connecting IP with IP, if I give the port, complete thing is called it a socket. Uh, see, now it is called as a session layer, presentation layer, encryption, compressing data to allow a network resource. See, there is no other way. You have to memorize this particular OSI layer. I know Yash already know. He is also certified. Uh, it the
I have
SQL
a
is,
mnemonic. Like there is a way to remember this thing. There's a mnemonic.
yeah. There is a numerical
Yeah.
thing. It just depends upon you how you are going to your own way. If you find your own way, you are going to remember much easier way.
Yeah.
Then yeah, then it is a OSI model, right? Now OSI model, you have to remember 7 layers, right? Now again there is a different model comes in the picture to make this thing smaller. There is a TCP IP model came in the picture. TCP IP model. It is nothing but same thing. I'm compressing, making it smaller into 4 layers. Now it is now it is see now yeah. See this is the OSI layer. You have to remember the 7 layers, right? See why why it is from 1, 2, 3, why 7 is on the top, and why physical is put it in the bottom. Why I have not written here physical then link layer. Why it is this way?
And the data go climbs from physical to application. So it's like
Yeah,
from
it is
bottom
like
from
that.
bottom.
Yeah, data goes like that way. But when there is a system, it will goes like this way. If I'm talking about my only laptop, no connectivity, it is
Receiving end.
yeah. But as soon as I connect any wire, right? First is base is a physical layer. If there is no physical layer, how we are going to communicate? Then it is comes at a switch, router, firewall, session, all those things. Now this OSI layer is compressed to make a smaller model, which is called TCP/IP model. So we are going to see in coming lecture what is a TCP, what is a IP, It is nothing but, see, it is combining this, sorry, 765. It's making one layer called an application layer, and the fourth is same. It has been kept like this way. In the network layer, it's communicated as the internet. Why it is internet? Because it is connect when you connecting a different network, you have to come outside, and it is given a name as a internet. And why physical layer? See, only connecting wire will not work, right? Where you are going to connect wire? From one laptop to another laptop, you are going to connect a wire. Even if it is the same network, see, if it is your, sorry, is if in one laptop, second laptop, are you going to connect directly? I'm putting a cable, ethernet cable, putting a cable to another laptop. Will it work? See, suppose I have a LAN cable, I just put in my laptop. I have other system, I just put in other system. Will it work?
No.
No.
It will work. It will work. You try it, it will work. But if as soon as there is a third system came in the picture, you don't have a Ethernet port, right? We are
Okay,
only
yeah.
we are only having a one port. So now you need a switch to connect. See why it will work? If you connect, give the uh, same network IP address and try to ping, it will work because there is nothing. What thing you think it will stop to work in this scenario? Just write when you say no. So what comes into your mind when the answer is came as a no? It's fine if it is silly answer, wrong answer. We are here to discuss the things. Shikha, any idea?
I was thinking about separate wires. I mean, for system one and for system two. So,
Okay.
according to that, I
Mm,
thought, how can you connect it? It
no.
but
Yeah.
put it in a different way. Yeah.
No. When you connect, just try it connecting one Ethernet to other Ethernet and give the same IP address of range. It will work. But as soon as the third picture system will come in the picture, I don't have how I'm going to connect because it is already occupied, right? So what I'm doing, I'm creating a switch here. I'm connecting here all the ports, and now this will come connect to here, and it will communicate. Now what I required, a cable plus switch, right? Plus small switch of 4 port or 8 port. So that is the reason it's combining. It's called as a network layer. That is the reason it is combined and given as a network access layer.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. And here it is combined, made as a internet layer because I'm sending one packet to out of my boundary. It's defined as a network in TCP model. Transport same way. Transport is kept like that. In the application, right? And as you said, end services which we are going to use. Now the summary of this thing which we have studied today, just just one by one we are seeing. So here, as you told, wire everything is working. And in this particular layer, which device will work? Itiraj, just answer which on the layer second, which device will work?
Switch.
Switch, right? And network layer,
Router. Router.
what? Router or L3 switch. Now in transport layer,
Firewall.
firewall, right? So this is OSI model and TCP IP model. Now whatever terms we are seeing, this one we are going to study in the coming lectures. Now on the left hand side here, we are seeing a three-way handshake message. See, it is sending a sin. This sin plus egg coming. That's sending egg. So it is 1, 2, and the 3. So that is the reason it is called three-way handshake. Now, if I'm talk about this three-way handshake, right, of OSI model or TCP model, where it is going to work, in which layer, after which layer it is going to work.
Transportation layer.
Transportation layer. Why?
You mean TCP AP, right? On top of the
No,
transportation
no,
layer.
no. I'm talking about this three-way handshake. Sorry, I'm talking about this way. This one, three-way handshake. Three-way handshake. In which layer it is? You think it is going to work?
The physical layer.
Yes, it is work on the after this one. Sorry, after this one, it is going to work. As you am talking about ping, trace route, checking the connectivity. Once this physical layer is been established, everything is been connected, then only three-way handshake will going to work. Remember. So this is a today's we studied about OSI model, TCP model, and the three-way handshake. This is a base of network security. So when you go in an interview, this is the first thing they will ask you, and this is the second thing they are going to ask this particular thing. So I'm going to send you this slide and this whatever the video, sorry, whatever the thing we have studied today, I'm going to send after the class. So this is the today's lecture. Any question?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. So now we are going to have a class on 14th of August, 14th, 15th, 16th. Will send you an invite for that one.
Okay.
Thank you. Itiraj, any
Thank you.
question? Thank you.
No, Indresh. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
See, this is, I know you people know, some of the people who already joined the lecture, some of the people are already coming from a technical background. You have to just bear, 2, 3 lectures because I'm starting from the basics because they are the student who don't know this thing. If I start telling directly the IP address network, they will be completely blank. They are the student who's coming from the they are the student who are now coming from from financial background to a technical background. They are the students who are the magician. They are opting for the technical thing. I have to start from the basic. If you know these things, it's good. You are getting revised. Otherwise, bear with me for 2, 3 lectures.
No, that
No,
is
this
good.
is
Like we
real.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is very good. It is really a good brush up because it,
Okay.
yeah. So thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Okay.
Some of them we studied only in the college. After that, we never like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
thank
much.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you see go through my resume that I sent you?
Yeah. Actually, there was a issue yesterday of my laptop. So I was not
Okay.
able to. Can you present? Just let
Yeah, I
me.
can do it.
Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Please go ahead.